you start with the point, move the point to get a line, move the line to get a plane, move the plane like this to get a solid. So that's geometry. That's one way of looking at geometry. So what we are doing is, started with the point, you move the point to get a line, move the line to get a plane like this, which is 2-dimensional. And if I move the plane like this, I'll get solids, which are 3-dimensional. Now, let's simplify geometry using common language. In simple language, let's try interpreting one-to-many. So if I try interpreting one-to-many in a diagram, I start with the point, lot of them together I get a line, 2 lines to get an angle, 3 lines I get a triangle, make this one-to-many. So 2 triangles together I get a quadrilateral. Keep on adding triangles, I'll get trapeziums and pentagons and hexagons. And if I do this many more times, infinite number of triangles, I get a circle like this. So circle is nothing but one-to-many of a triangle. Now, cut the circle, straighten this out, I get a line, and that's where we started from. So line can be taken as a circle with infinite radius. Circle can be taken as a polygon with infinite lines. Line to a circle and everything in between is what we need to learn in geometry, in plane geometry. It's very simple. So we'll first start with 2 lines together. We call them angles. Next chapter will be 3 lines together, triangles. 4 of them together we'll learn next. We call them quadrilaterals. And the next chapter will be infinite number of them put together. We call them circles. And it sounds very simple, right? It's actually much easier than what you think. So geometry is going to be, it's anyway easy, but it's going to get much more interesting. And you're going to find it's going to become well below anyone's level very soon.
I was yours for the taking. Guess I needed a home. But if I'm not mistaken, you were good on your own. And I know I was drunk enough. Didn't know it would mess me up, yeah.
Now learn about geometric plane shapes. Do you know how many types are there? Here we go. Do you know what this is? Easy peasy. It's a circle. A circle is round. It's as round as this lemon half. Or like this clock. It's so late. What about this shape? It looks very much like a circle, but it's not. This is an oval. It has a flat face. It looks like this rugby ball. Or like this egg. Oopsie, this is not an oval anymore. This is a triangle. It's a polygon with 3 sides and 3 angles. The triangle is like this piece of cheese. Or like this slice of pizza. Yum yum, it looks delicious. This is a square. This square looks like sandwich bread. Or like this cookie. No more food talk, I'm feeling really hungry. This is a rectangle. It has 4 sides, like the square, but they're not identical. Only its opposite sides are equal in length. A rectangle looks like this bill. Or like this picture frame. This is a diamond shape. Its 4 sides are identical, but its angles are not, meaning this one and this one are equal, and so are these 2. A diamond looks like the jewel on this crown. Or like this kite. This one right here is a pentagon. Pentagons have 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A pentagon looks like this birdhouse. Or like these football stitches. Finally, I'll show you the hexagon. Hexagons have 6 sides. A hexagon is like this stop sign. Or like this beehive. We better go now. Bees are getting angry. Recap. Circle. Oval. Triangle. Square. Rectangle. Diamond. Pentagon. Hexagon.
Rectangles. I'm drawing a shape. Can you say what it is? That's right, it's a rectangle. Wow, you're a whiz. It's a shape that you'll notice wherever you look. From a building downtown to a library book. It's the shape of a pillow for resting your head. And not only that, it's the shape of your bed. It's the shape of an amp, and it totally rocks. You might say this shape puts the boom in the box. You can see that a rectangle looks like a square, but 2 sides are longer. Come on, let's compare. 2 sides are much shorter. You see, it's a breeze. The corners are angles of 90 degrees. And that makes the shape of a fridge, which is cool. A table for ping pong. And even a pool. A theater ticket, and also the screen. A box full of candy. A vending machine. And beautiful presents with ribbons and tags. Playing cards, notebooks, certificates, bags. A train engine pulls a rectangular car. Are rectangles awesome? They totally are.
Your boombox is shaped like a rectangle. It sounds like one too. Train, car, fish tank, skyscraper, wooden plank, picnic table, loaf of bread, fluffy pillow, twin bed, swimming pool, bale of hay, lunchroom, food train, deck of cards, drawing pads, gold diploma, paperback, soccer field, tennis court, hockey goal, scoreboard, chocolate cake. That tastes great. It's got 4 sides, got 4 corners, 2 sides are long, 2 sides are shorter. Every corner's at a right angle. That's a rectangle. That's a rectangle. TV, refrigerator, piece of paper, elevator, movie ticket, movie screen, box of candy, drink machine, building block, apple crate, book, rubber, pencil case, stick of butter, stick of gum, fluffy pillow. This is fun. Bar of soap, parking spot, graham cracker. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. It's got 4 sides, got 4 corners, 2 sides are long, 2 sides are shorter. Every corner's at a right angle. That's a rectangle. That's a rectangle. What is that square that you are eating? It is called a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Squares, 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 squares. See them here and see them there. Squares, 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 squares. Squares are everywhere. A checkerboard is a square. A hopscotch court is made of squares. This cracker is shaped like a square. Squares are everywhere. Can you grow your poodle's hair in the shape of a square? Oh, yes, you can, but you've got to take some care. And you must beware that some people might stare. Looky there. If your poodle's hair is square, my waffle is completely square. And it is made up of many tiny squares. Please pass that square of butter. Squares, 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 squares. See them here and see them there. Squares, 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 squares. Squares are everywhere. Squares are everywhere. Squares are everywhere. Squares are everywhere. There are lots of good tasting things that are square. Yum.
I'll pretend the night is so beautiful. Take a photo with the bros, la-da-dee-la-da-da-do. They won't see through my disguise, right here behind my eyes, replaying in my mind, la-da-da, yeah. Clear the light, there is no better.
Circles. The shape of a circle is round, as you know. It's easy to find it wherever you go. It's the shape of a sign when you ride down the block. A bright smiley face. And the face of a clock. It's the shape of the sun in the summery skies. A button, of course. And a big pair of eyes. It might be an old-fashioned record that spins. Or the ball that you kick when your soccer team wins. Or this kind of ball, and the hoop where you shoot it. A quarter's a circle. You just can't dispute it. A pizza's a circle that's yummy to eat. Pizza! And so is a donut. Oh boy, what a treat. These big fluffy pancakes are circles as well. And the lid of a trash can. But yuck, what a smell. The loop in this ride is a circle shape too. We're still finding circles all over. Can you?
What are those circles on your face? Those are my eyes.
Circles all over the place. Circles in the sky and on your face. Circles, see them all around town. Circles going round and round. A donut and a basketball hoop. A roller coaster loop-de-loop. A Ferris wheel, a pizza pie. Take a look at those googly eyes. Googly, 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 googly eyes.
Googly eyes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Circles,
A quarter.
circles,
A trash can lid.
circles.
A record on a record player.
Circles going round and round. A soccer ball and a smiley face.
Hello.
A button, a clock, pancakes.
Yum.
A bicycle tie, let's go for a ride. Take another look at those googly eyes. Googly, 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 googly eyes.
We've got googly eyes.
Circles,
All over the place.
circles,
Right on my face.
circles,
All over town.
circles, going round and round, just like googly eyes. Circles, going round and round.
Taking over my days, so tonight I'm going out. Yet I'm feeling like there is no better place than right by your side.
A four-sided polygon is called a quadrilateral. The word quadrilateral is a combination of quad, which means four, and lateral, which means side. Quadrilaterals are given specific names depending on whether there are parallel sides, equal angles, or equal sides. If all four sides are the same length, we call the shape a rhombus. When all four angles are the same, we call the shape a rectangle. In this case, all angles measure 90 degrees. All 4 angles are right angles. If all 4 sides are equal and all 4 angles are equal, the shape is called a square. In addition to classifying quadrilaterals by their sides and angles, there are also specific names depending on whether or not opposite sides are parallel. If one pair of sides are parallel, the shape is called a trapezoid. When both pairs of sides are parallel, the shape is called a parallelogram.
Now learn about the angle sum property of a quadrilateral, which says sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree or 4 right angles. Angle sum property of a quadrilateral can be proved as follows. In the figure given on screen, ABCD is a quadrilateral whose diagonal AC is drawn. Now the diagonal AC divides quadrilateral in 2 triangles, namely triangle ABC and triangle ADC, forming angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5 and angle 6. Now in triangle ABC, by the angle sum property of a triangle, angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree. Similarly, angle 4 plus angle 5 plus angle 6 is equal to 180 degree. Now adding these results we get angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 plus angle 6 is equal to 180 degree plus 180 degree. On regrouping we get angle 1 plus angle 4 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 6 plus angle 5 is equal to 360 degree, which is the same as angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 degree.
Geometry. A kite has 4 sides, therefore it is a quadrilateral. One of the first things you may notice is that there are 2 pairs of different length sides. A fancy word to describe this is that a kite has 2 disjoint pairs of consecutive sides. Disjoint pairs means that one side can't be used in both pairs. The sides of each pair are congruent. Sides A and B are congruent, and sides C and D are congruent. The angles that are opposite each other and in between the 2 different length sides are also congruent. And remember, congruent means equal. If you look at the diagonals, the longer diagonal cuts the shorter diagonal in half. The diagonals of a kite are perpendicular to one another, which results in the diagonal creating right angles. The longer diagonal is also an angle bisector to the top and bottom angles. The formula for finding the perimeter is side A plus B plus C plus D. And a formula for finding the area is you can take 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. I hope that helps with the properties of
Rhombus. It's time to take a little quiz. Do you know what a rhombus is? A diamond shape? That's it. You're right. You really must be super bright. You'll see it on an argyle sweater. Look closer and you'll see it better.
Hey!
It's there on argyle socks as well. Just try to disregard the smell. Drawing rhombuses is fun. Just 4 straight lines, and then you're done. The sides are equal. You can see, we've measured very carefully. Finding one is never hard. Here's a rhombus on a card. And here's a marking on a horse. Is that a rhombus? Yes, of course. Rhombuses are everywhere. Here's one soaring in the air. They shine and shimmer on a crown. The rhombus cruises through the town. Rhombuses can make good snacks, and snakes can have them on their backs. A ballpark has a rhombus too. We love the rhombus shape, don't you? The end.
I like that rhombus on your necktie. Uh-oh, that is a snake.
There's a rhombus on my argyle sock. There's a rhombus on my argyle sweater. There's a rhombus on that diamondback snake. Oh, you better not pet her. I saw a rhombus-shaped kite flying up in the sky. I saw a rhombus-shaped marking on the head of a horse. I saw a rhombus-shaped sandwich at a fancy party, and a rhombus-shaped sign that said baby on board. A rhombus is a diamond with all all sides the same length.
You can measure it.
You can ride a bus, but have you ever ridden a rhombus?
This playing card has a diamond on it.
Rhombus.
I prefer to call it a rhombus. Go fish.
See a rhombus on a jeweled crown. Run a rhombus. When you hit a home run with a rhombus, you can draw a mental ray. A rhombus is all kinds of fun. It's a rhombus.
You look nice in that Argyle sweater. Thank you.
In this quadrilateral, both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. The first pair of opposite sides is AB and DC. We can see that AB is parallel to DC. We use two arrows in the same direction to show that the sides are parallel. The second pair of opposite sides is AD and BC. We can also see that AD is parallel to BC. So we draw arrows like this. Such quadrilaterals are called parallelograms. Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. This was the basic property of a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, the opposite sides are also equal. This side will be equal to this side. We can say that AB is equal to DC. This side will be equal to this side. AD is equal to BC. And guess what? In a parallelogram, the opposite angles are also equal. Opposite angles are angles which do not have a common side. This angle will be equal to this angle. Angle DAB is equal to angle DCB. And this angle will be equal to this angle. Angle ABC is equal to angle ADC. Remember, this is the basic property of a parallelogram. The opposite sides as well as the opposite angles are equal. Let's see a special case of a parallelogram. In this parallelogram, all the sides are equal to each other. This is a rhombus. So a rhombus is a parallelogram with all its sides equal. It will have all the properties of a parallelogram as well as this additional property that all its sides will be equal.
What is a trapezium? A trapezium is a four-sided figure. It is a type of quadrilateral. One pair of sides are parallel. In this trapezium, the side AB is parallel to DC. The sum of angle pairs between parallel lines is 180 degrees. In this trapezium, the sum of angles DAB and ADC is 180 degrees. Similarly, the sum of angles ABC and BCD is also 180 degrees.
I can't believe